Hello and welcome back. Now we have a setup function with number in here. Now we have in this function we have a countdown timer started, and we have to make a function for this function label on our interface. Okay. Now first of all, I want you to see some example of the function for our game like this. As you can see, we have 1 plus 1 equal 2. This is a setup function with two numbers. And here's 1 plus 2 minus 1 equal 2. This is a setup function with three numbers. And this is 2 minus 2 plus 3 minus 1 equal 2. This is a setup function with four numbers. As you can see. Okay. This is an example of our setup function. And so with two numbers in here, we have two numbers 1 and 1. 1, this is the first number, this is the second number, and one sign. This is a plus sign, okay? And in three number, when we make a setup function with three number in here, we have three number, one number, two number, and three number. And we have two signs in here, one plus and one minus, okay? And for four number, we have four number in here, and we have three signs in here, minus, plus, minus. Okay, so I think we will make all the number and sign into one array. We make it to one array, and the odd index is 4 sign. Okay, for example, we have a array in here like this. You can see for first example we have an array for like this, and you can see the first element, the second element, and the third element. So the odd element is for sign, and the even element is for number. Okay, it's similar for second example in here, and you can see it's the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the odd element is always for sign, and the even element is always for number. It's similar for another example in here. Okay, so I think we will make a functions labels by create a function label, and you can see when we have a two number in here, the content of this array is a 3. Okay, we have a 3 number in here, the content is about 5, and when we have 4 number in here, the content is array is about 7 elements. Okay, so I think we will create a function label with number of content like this. Okay, so we will have to create a function label with number of content in here. It's about the number we have multiple the number by 2 and minus 1. When we have two number and our array will have 3 elements, we have 3 number, our array will have a 5 element. Okay, and next we have to create this function in here. Number of content, we change it to the int. I forgot to make the fun in here. Okay, so this function will help us to create our array, content array for us. Okay, so first of all we have to create a content array to save all of our element, and all of our element we save it in string type. Okay, this is a string empty string array for us. Now next make a for loop I is equal to 0, I is smaller than number of content dot count, number of content not count. For example, when we have a number in here is 2, so number of content is the 2 multiplied 2 minus 1 is 3. So we have the variables I run from 0 to 2, 0, 1, 2, and the first I is here, I is plus, and here we have to separate which is the in case of I is odd numbers or even number. Okay, we can separate this by we use percent. If I percent 2 is 0 is equal to 0. Okay, in this case mean that we have a number in here. Okay, and remember that if I is odd, if I is odd number, for example, if I is 0s or 2, so we will make a number, and if I out is odd, yes, that means that I is 1 or 3, that we will make a sign, means that plus or minus. Okay, if I is even, means that we will make a number. Okay, for example, if here is I percent 2 is 0, so that we have a even number in here, even I is even, so we have to quit the number. Okay, we have a number in here, we have quit a number, a random number, and you see this is a simple, so a random number have it must to be 1 or 2 or 3, so that is not smaller than 1 or bigger than 3, and it's in integer. Okay, so we can create a var a is equal to, we can use a random function C for random in here, and you can use 3. This random function will return from 0, 1, and 2. So if you want to make a random number from 1 to 3, we have to plus 1 in here. So this function will make for us a is about 1 or 2 or 3. Okay, after that we will insert this variable to our array. Okay, content array. We can insert this by append function. In here we not append the variable a because a is a type of int32. We have, because this content array is a string, it is a string array, so we have converted to the string by this. Okay, so this is good for our even number. So well, in here we have a sign here, mean that we have to plus or minus. Okay, now for similar we have to create a sign equal to C for random. Now at this time we only need 0 and 1, so we can make RC for random is equal to So size is only 1, 0 or 1. And for random this, we can make if size is 0. If we have a size is equal to 0, so we can make we can add a minus to our array, and if not, if size is equal to 1, we can add a plus to our array. Okay. Content array append here. I think we append a minus in here. Okay. If not, we will append plus in here. Okay, I think that's enough for our content array. Now we can print out our content array to check. Content array in here. Here this is the functions, and we can see the output of our content array in here. Okay, now we start up our app to see. This is a awake function and reactive at the first interface. Okay, now we start. And we have a start button press, and the number is 2 for this. Okay, and after that we create a function label in here with 2 number in here. We have content array is 3 minus 2. Okay, so for example, I will check more with when we create a setup function with another number. Okay, so for example, I will check in here. When we press answer 1 button, I will check that, and we can call setup function with number is 2 with 2 number. Okay, and number 2 we can set up function is number 3, and setup function is number 4. Okay, now see again. So when we start, we have one content array is 2 plus 1. Okay, press 1 again and see. Content array is 3 plus 2. Okay, and here the number 2, we have the number is 3. Okay, okay, we have 3 number in here, and here 1, 2, 3 number, and 2 side in here. Okay, press again and see 3 number, 2 side plus and 1 note, and the 4 for example, and you can see when the number is 4, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 number in here, and plus 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 3 side again, 4 number, 3 side. Okay, so we can create a function label in here, but you can see because we have only 3 options to choose the result, so the result is only 1 or 2 or 3, so we have to calculate this function label and route it, make it to 1, 2, 3 for user to choose. Okay, so I will help you to do it in the next lecture. See you in the next lecture.